Hi guys, I'm Dimension Jumper and today we're reviewing Lego Batman the video game, which was released in 2008 and released for the Nintendo DS, the Nintendo Wii, the PlayStation 2 and the Xbox. And now this game is based on DC's character Batman, obviously, and there are three different stories that are told throughout the game based on various villains from Batman's Rogue Gallery, that being the Riddler, um, the Joker, and the Penguin, and they all tell a different stories. So for the Riddler, it's basically him and some other villains are trying to rob a bank. With the Penguin, he wants to take over Gotham by using penguin robot things, and for the Joker, he wants to um, engulf all of Gotham with laughing gas. And it's up to Batman and Robin as well to stop each villain. And what I like about this game is that it's told from two perspectives. So the first being the villain's point of view, or the first being Batman's point of view, the second one being the villain's point of view. And what I like about that is like it tells the levels in particular are shown differently. So in one level, in during the Penguin's story, um, you can see this big crate being dropped onto you, and the Penguin and Killer Croc running away. And then when you're doing the particular level again with Killer Croc and the Penguin, you can see from their perspective. And I think that's quite cool because the game kind of like establishes continuity within the stories, and I think that's really cool. And just to see how the game just acts. And also, you can also, and throughout each level, you can find different characters, well, character tokens, which you can use to buy more characters, and you can play around with them and just to see how they act. Because each character has different um, abilities. So, for example, Batman has a double jump and also has some different bat suit abilities. So does Robin. Like some of their abilities are like you can walk up walls, you can survive in like high temperatures, and also set off these remote bomb things. I can't exactly remember what they were. It has been a long time since I played these games. And yeah, and now it's time to go to the gameplay. So the gameplay for Lego Batman is pretty simple. It's like a lot of other Lego games. Some characters have special abilities unlike other characters. So for example, Batman, he's got a double jump, and if you use a double jump and press the Y button, he will do, a ground sort of pound with his fist, and the way to jump is by pressing the B button twice, and then the Y button. If you use the A button, you can use his Batarang, and you can target nearby objects or characters, so you can do damage to them. If you want to switch characters, press the X button, and then you can switch characters and also get their abilities. So for example, Robin, he's basically like Batman, but he's not. He's basically like got a single jump instead of a double jump, and also he's got a kick when he jumps. So if you press the B button and then Y, he'll do a kick. And the hub world is quite small-ish. It's only Arkham Asylum in the Batcave, and if you're in the Batcave, you can look at the variety of things. So like you can choose which characters you can buy if you haven't got yet. You can look at some of the extras. You can go on local place, some of the cutscenes, some hints, and some vehicles. No, not vehicles. Time trials. I mean, yeah, I haven't played this game in a while, so yeah. And also the cutscenes is kind of like a comic book. So you've basically got these panels that basically describe the story, and I think that's quite genius, because even though there's no dialogue, you can kind of have an understanding of what the villain's plan is and how Batman and Robin are going to stop them. that sort of thing, and how they're going to like try and get how the villains are trying to collect these items to try and do their plans. And also, what I also like about the game is that you can also see this from the villain's perspective. So, for example, let's say in the first story, you can you can basically see them from two perspectives. So, like how the heroes act and how to stop the villains, and how the villains are trying to do their plan. So, for example, this is the villains' side of the story now. So this is basically describing how the villains are going to do their thing. So up until a particular part of the cutscene, it changes depending on how and which version of the story you're playing as. So as you just saw earlier, you saw it from Batman and Robin's perspective, and now this is from the Riddler and his team's perspective, and I think that's quite cool because it's basically just showing us how they get their plans and how they're going to activate their plans and whatnot. So this is basically from the Riddler's perspective now, and yeah, I think each level with both the villains and the heroes are quite interesting because I think it's really cool of how you can play as different characters from Batman's rogue gallery, and also you've got a character customization in which you can customize different characters and see how you can see how you can basically mix and match. And also there's the trophy room where you can basically build these different trophy things that are based, I think, on different villains from Batman's Rogue Gallery, I think. So obviously this is symbolizing Two-Face, this coin here, and I think this is meant to represent Red Hood, I think. I think that's supposed to represent Ra's al Ghul, I think. This is based on the Penguin. This is, judging by the colour scheme, obviously meant to be based on the Joker, mainly because of the card and the face and the colour scheme, that sort of thing. And I'm not too sure who's this is supposed to be based off from. I'm not too sure. It's some kind of dinosaur looking guy, but yeah. And the hub world, as I said before, is a bit small. You can go through different doors to see the different levels, and yeah, and I think overall this game, well, the levels are quite okay. And now it's time to go back to the review. Now, one of the things I quite find interesting about the game is that you can go to either the Batcave, Arkham Asylum, or um, Bruce Wayne's mansion, or mainly just his living room, mainly. And I think that's quite cool, just because you can basically see the different areas and see how you can go to different levels, that sort of thing. And also for Bruce Wayne's mansion, I do like how you can basically just go there via an elevator and just come out from behind his um, uh, bookshelf, yeah. And you can go down there again and then go to the different levels. And yeah, I think that's quite interesting. And I also do like how each character has their own abilities. So yeah, and also I do like how at the starting, before you create a save file, it had the music um that that has that's in the title screen is the same music that was in Tim Burton's Batman movies, and I think it's quite cool. I think it's like it brings new fans into the series and has that iconic Batman theme that a lot of people who might have watched the Tim Burton Batman movies might have heard while they're watching the movie. And yeah, and apart from that, I think this game is a fun game that has some replay value. I think a lot of Lego games now are really interesting and are slightly better than this game. But apart from that, I think this game is a cool little game that is was kind of interesting to play. So that's been my review for Lego Batman the video game. I hope you enjoyed that video. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.